Let me start with this urgent travel alert because huge changes are coming in 2026. And yes, this affects every single passenger, even if you only travel once a year. If you've been flying for decades and you're thinking, I've seen it all and nothing is really changing, well, 2026 is about to prove you wrong. Because what's happening right now isn't one small rule or one random country. It's a complete shift in how travel works, passports, digital approvals, border checks, airline enforcement, all changing quietly. And in some cases, all at the same time. And I don't say that to scare you. I'm saying it to prepare you. Because the travel rules we grew up with, because I'm 65, I'm a senior, is different now. I'm talking about those passport stamps, showing up to the airport early, going through airport security and boarding the plane with ease. That era is quietly ending. What's replacing all of that is something very different, and that's digital approvals, pre-authorizations, automated border systems. Even AI is being initiated into all these plans, and rules that don't get checked at the airport. They get checked before you even board that plane. And if you miss one step, the airline won't argue with you. They just say, sorry, you're not clear to board this plane today, ma'am or sir. Now, if you watched my recent video about the new passport rules and travel changes coming in 2026, you already know this topic is a concern to passengers, including you and I. And the response I got to that video told me one thing very clearly. People are confused, overwhelmed, and afraid of making a costly mistake. So today I want to step back and give you the big picture. This is the overview video, kind of like the map you need to navigate all of these changes happening worldwide. I'm here to give you the details without letting you panic, and without the jargon, and without burying in politics or government lingo. After this video, I am going to start breaking these changes down country by country, because some of these rules are sneaky, and some of them absolutely will stop you from boarding that plane if you don't know about them beforehand. Here's the first big shift that you need to understand. Traveling is moving from on-arrival checks to pre-travel approvals, and I'm going to explain that. For decades, the airport was where everything happened. You showed your passport at the counter, you answered questions at immigration, you dealt with problems after you landed. That's not how it works anymore. Well, not in 2026. Governments want your information before you get on the plane. Let's just say plain and simple. That's why you're seeing systems like ETAs, ETIAS, electronic travel authorizations, digital arrival cards, and automated border checks popping up everywhere. And I mean everywhere. And let me be very clear about something, because this trips people up constantly. Most of these are not visas, as some passengers may think, but they still have the power of a visa, if that makes sense. That means that you can have a perfectly valid passport, a paid plane ticket, a hotel booked, and still be denied boarding because you did not complete a digital authorization that you didn't even know existed. This is already happening quietly and daily. The second major shift is passport scrutiny. It's no longer just about having a passport. It's about what kind of passport you have. Countries are now enforcing things like minimum passport validity rules, machine-readable passport requirements, and digital compatibility with border systems. That means older passports, damaged passports, passports with not enough blank pages, passports close to expiration, they're becoming a much bigger problem than they used to be. So you better get ready. And what's scary is that many travelers do not find this out until the airline checks them in. Not immigration, not customs, but the airline. Why? Because airlines are now financially responsible for flying you back if you're denied entry, and they don't want to pay that. They don't want that cost. They they become the first line of enforcement, and they're not being mean. They're just protecting themselves and their money. The third big change is automated border control. In many countries, passport stamps are disappearing. Instead, Your entry and exit are being logged electronically. That means overstays, even if they're accidental ones, are much easier to track. No more, they probably won't notice. They will notice. And this matters especially for travelers who travel frequently. Stay close to maximum allowed days and assume border officers won't check their history. Those days are gone. The system is now always going to check for them. All right, so now let's talk about the part that really confuses people, and that's regional travel systems. Let me explain. Instead of dealing with countries one by one, entire regions are now using shared databases. Europe is a big example of this, but it's not the only one. When one country updates its rules, neighboring countries often follow. So you might think, I've been to this country before. Nothing has happened or nothing has changed. But the system has changed, even if the destination looks the same. That's why I keep saying this isn't about being an inexperienced traveler. Some of the people getting caught off guard are the most seasoned travelers. Another major shift that doesn't get talked about enough is digital identity checks. Your travel information is increasingly tied to your passport number, your flight booking, and your authorization status. If something does not match, then the system is going to flag it automatically. There's no arguing with a computer because that won't change the outcome. And this is why small mistakes like a name mismatch, an expired authorization, or using an old passport number can derail a trip. Just like that. It's not dramatic, it's just final. And here's the part I want you to understand. This doesn't mean that travel is becoming impossible. It means travel is becoming less forgiving. Once you know the rules, it's manageable, but ignoring them is no longer an option for you. That's why I'm making the series just for you, because I don't want you finding this out when you're at the airport. I want you to be confident before you book your next flight to wherever you're going to travel to in 2026. Over the next set of videos, I'm going to walk you through countries that now require digital travel authorizations, places where passport rules have quietly tightened, regions using automated entry and exit systems, and the most common mistakes I'm seeing travelers make right now. Each video will focus on one country or region at a time so that you're not overwhelmed or confused. If you're planning travel in 2026, especially international travel, this is the information you cannot afford to skip. So here's what I want you to do. If you travel even once per year, if you're planning a retirement trip, if you're visiting family overseas, or if you just don't want surprises at the airport, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of these videos that will tell you about the changes that are taking place. Because the rules are changing fast. There's no doubt about that. And I'll keep breaking them down in plain English, one destination at a time. And in the very next video, I'm going to dive into Thailand, because that's where I see the most confusion right now. Trust me, you'll want to see that one. And here's the dangerous part. Most people won't realize it until they're standing at the airport being told that they are not clear to fly. That's why I keep saying this affects every passenger, not just frequent flyers, not just international travelers or business travelers, everyone. And so I decided to create this mini-series for all passengers flying in 2026 and beyond. By the time this mini-series is done, you will be a travel pro, confident, prepared, and not caught off guard by these 2026 changes. I hope you found value from this video, and if you have, I invite you to check out my ebook titled 10 Massive Travel Changes That Could Absolutely Wreck Your Next Trip. The title tells it all. Grab it from the link in the description if you want to go deeper into all that's happening, all these changes. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in that first Thailand video to kick off the series. And safe travels. Take care of yourself.